How do you really know if someone is a Christian? Get your family, your friends, gather them together. It's time for Wednesday's Coffee and Conversation. On Sunday, Pastor Werner started a new series called Making Progress. And he started that series with this very question: how do we really know if someone is a Christian? Can we tell if they've made a prayer and they go to church regularly? Can we tell if they just love other people and they're a good person? How do we know if someone's really a Christian? Well, to answer this question, Pastor Werner is taking us through the book of 1 John in the New Testament. And he sees in this book three questions to help determine if someone is really a Christian, if we are really a Christian. And he focused on the first test, the ethical test, this past Sunday morning. And he showed us at the end of his message a diagram that gave us the ethical access compared to the doctrinal access. It's not just about going from not knowing God to knowing more about God, but we also are to move from the ethical access, from being on the bottom, the sinful part, to being at the top, to being holy like Jesus is holy, to move in that direction and to make progress. The message was impactful, it was powerful, so if you need to go back, I strongly suggest you can go do that on our YouTube channel or our website and listen back to the message again, because again, it was powerful and will help us reflect on these things. But we want to give you some questions to help you process through Sunday's message. And to use these questions in community, to have conversation with your family and with your friends, to help us put Sunday's message into practice in our everyday lives. And so the first question for us this week is this: are you becoming more like Christ each day? Are you becoming more like Christ each day? This is actually the question that Pastor Werner ended his message with on Sunday. And maybe this is going to be a difficult question for you to talk about with your family and friends, but I think it's an important one for us to reflect on. Am I really becoming more like Christ each day, or have I become complacent in my faith? Have I become complacent in my walk with Christ? So that's the first question, and that leads us right into question number 2. What life patterns do you need to change? If we're trying to become more like Christ and move towards becoming holy like He is holy and making progress in our walk, where is it in our life where we can notice patterns and habits and things that we do that do not reflect Christ, that maybe reflect a more sinful nature and not the holy nature of our Savior? So what life patterns do you need to change this week? Here's our last question, question number 3. What steps can you take this week to become more like Christ? We want these Wednesday devotional videos and questions to be very practical. We don't want to just be able to think better as Christians or know something more as Christians, but we want to live better as Christians. Again, we want to make progress and become more like Christ. So what is one step that you can take this week to become more like Christ? Pastor Werner shared this question in his message. A better question from what would Jesus do is, what would Jesus do if He were me? So think about your situation, where you are in your workplace, in your family, in your neighborhood, and the things that you have to do on a regular basis. What is one thing that you can do that would show that you're becoming more like Christ this week? What's one way that Jesus would live His life if He were you this week? And let's take that step together. Those are your questions for this week, church. And join with us again on Sunday morning, whether in person or online, for part 2 of Pastor Werner's message, Making Progress.